Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here. But where?
Yeah, Hollywood, you know I love you more than one night should. Yeah, Hollywood, well kiss me good. Yeah, Hollywood, you know I love you more than one.
I went to see Seth MacFarlane's second film, A Million Ways to Die in the West. It is the story of a guy who really does not like his current situation. He has a crap life, a girlfriend who just doesn't want to be with him because she thinks he's too weak, and he just doesn't feel like he's good at doing anything right. Kind of like Charlie Brown in the Old West. But then throw in a couple of Seth MacFarlane's patented pieces of humor, some fantastic cast members, a couple of Seth MacFarlane patented surprises, and a couple of additional surprises thrown in from time to time, plenty of gross out, plenty of four-letter words, and Charlize Theron and Liam Neeson, and you get probably one of the best comedies that you will see in the theaters this year. Now, I was going in with the expectations of the fact that I know who Seth MacFarlane is, I love Family Guy, I love American Dad, I adored Ted, and I'll post a link to my review of Ted in the box below. I just felt that it was going to be another Seth MacFarlane movie, but I will say, what I loved so much about this movie was the fact that it was his take on a Western comedy. And even though you love Seth MacFarlane and you plan on seeing this movie, there is a very good chance that you will enjoy it. But I highly recommend to all of you youngsters out there that if you have not seen Mel Brooks' Blazing Saddles, which is one of the greatest comedies of all time, if you see this before you go out to see A Million Ways to Die in the West, you will appreciate this movie so much more. Mel Brooks was actually interviewed and asked about Seth MacFarlane's new movie, asking him if he thought that it was just a sheer ripoff. And he said, if I would have made Blazing Saddles in 2014, this would have been my movie. God bless him. And I'm very glad that Seth MacFarlane took a style of comedy that is just so far gone. You had so much great slapstick, so much homage to some of the comedy classics of the past, and while there were a couple of moments that really weren't necessary, much like in Ted, there was a whole section of the movie that you really didn't have to go that far, but that's just Seth MacFarlane being the perfectionist comedy artist that he is. The rest of the cast is great. Giovanni Ribisi, Sarah Silverman, Liam Neeson, Charlize Theron, Neil Patrick Harris, Amanda Seyfried, and a couple of other famous faces that just happened to show up in this movie. And now that Seth MacFarlane is going to also introduce some running gags as he continues to make these comedies. But I will actually say this. I thought that it was very much worth seeing on the big screen. I definitely intend on picking this movie up on DVD, and I actually think that A Million Ways to Die in the West was better than Ted. Throw your comments in there, everybody. I think that this movie was so much better than Ted on so many levels. Maybe it's just because of the fact that I love those old comedies, but that's just me. So I am giving A Million Ways to Die in the West 3.5 out of 4. It's so hard to find a good comedy these days, and if I know one thing, when Seth MacFarlane makes a movie, I am going to be front row center because he just knows how to make me laugh. He is a genius. He capitalizes on some of the greatest comedy styles that are now lost to the in-your-face extreme comedy, and it's just so nice to see these kinds of comedies showing up every now and again in the theaters. They are real treats. Thanks for watching, guys. I am the Lawn Gnome, and remember that actions speak louder than words.
Hang around for school.